All right, welcome in the spirit of things, folks. Gotta love it. My world is always, how do you say, upside down, in a beautiful way. Anyways, folks, we like to cut it close around here. Anyways, I'm having a yuck because I love stress. Anyways, hey, folks, we have a special guest on tonight. Sister Cookie and her husband Greg, as well as we'll be joined by Karen for a short. We were going to do a whole show with them tonight, but they've got pressing engagements, no problem. So, hey, we'll get a warm-up going here because by that time the beautiful video of the court issue and the attaching documents and whatever that need to go to the video will probably be complete for everybody's consumption when we do our next mass blast for on Wednesday. So I've already rescheduled for Wednesday as well. Anyways, let's take a look. Let me see who we have. I guess we're doing a head count. Hey, John, are you there? Raise your hand.
I am here, Peter.
All right, that's one down. All right, Cookie, you in the loop?
I'm in the loop.
All right, is Greg in the loop?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Okay, that's two. Is Karen in the loop? Okay. I guess Karen's not in the loop. Okay, well, hey, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. I think that was a song. Anyways, go figure. Anyways, folks, okay. Let's see. It's posted. My producer, that number's posted right where I see it says Karen will be calling in from this number. You've got a 216 area code. Okay, she's not here yet. Okay, no problem. Well, hey, let's get this party started. Anyways, folks, as things have been progressing in our world, we're moving forward on multiple levels, getting our minds right, knowing who we are instead of what they want us to be, i.e. fiction status slaves. Brought Sister Cookie and her husband Greg in the loop to share a little love on, let's say, some very interesting things in court. Anyways, folks, it's basically what they're doing is raping all the estates, just like I would say. It's all about trust law. It's all about the estates. They think we abandon everything, and so they do their dirty deeds, their dirty acts. They've been paid multiple times, securitizing all these mortgages, and then they act like they never got paid when it goes into default, even though, if you don't understand how the banking system works, folks, when you initialize a contract, i.e. give over a signature, it gets hypothecated in its full amount. Then they go ahead and are hypothecating every payment as well. So anyways, for most people who are not familiar with the banking system, how it really works, I've got beautiful stuff posted over at Privatis.Me where you can get your mind right and understand a little bit about how the system works. And it's just merely systems of credit. There is no money of account. There's no money of substance. It's just money of account. And you give the res, i.e. the energy, and technically we are all the creditor. However, they reverse positions when we give over with the offer, and they basically create a debtor status to us through the Tricks is for Kids hours. That's how this whole system has been working for years, folks, since they took us off the gold and silver standard. Anyways, guys, I had to give a little preface on information on what you're dealing with. It's a foreclosure, and you have the guarantor, but I'm going to let you all run with it a little bit so you can enlighten what happened and how it came about and what they're doing. They basically cover your issues on the property, the so-called property that they are trying to foreclose on.
So this is Cookie.
Yep.
Okay. And my husband is Greg.
Right.
We took an opportunity to go to court, actually. We didn't have to go because we had removed our mailboxes and all of that. And really quick before I get into the whole story of what happened in court, I just have to thank John, who's on the line. John and his wife went to court, and we saw that video. And as we were preparing to go to court, we definitely drew information from your video, John, and we just,
excellent,
between you and your wife, what everybody at Privatis.Me, Michael and Peter are doing, we didn't do this without a whole lot of help, so I just got to give a shout-out to a lot of people, including people I've never met, that, the SEO guy for you on your video, for instance.
Dan, Brother Dan, yep.
he put that video up, and I put in the keywords living beneficiary in court. And I came across that video, and when I saw the little symbol that said Privatis.Me YouTube, I was like, oh, it's our people. And we were just, and we were very excited to see what you had done and utilize a lot of it. We had to customize it a little bit for our own case because ours was not nearly about the serious nature as yours. However, our case, of course, is more of a financial issue because it had to do with real estate. So anyway, we did not get a piece of mail because they can't send us mail, but they've been emailing us what they are trying to mail us. And we decided that we would, even though we don't have to, we would go into court because we would take this opportunity to say we're the living beneficiaries. So we practiced a lot and role played, and when we went in, we waited for the case to be called, and the clerk did come up to us and ask us our names, and we did not give them our names. We just said we're parties to the case. We're coming to, talk about this case today. We're here on this matter. And we never gave our names. And when they finally called the case, and we did have 3 witnesses in the gallery, and it was a rather packed house. It's a small courtroom, and there must have been 25 some odd people in there. It was almost standing room only. And so they were clearing the place out, calling up the various lawyers and so forth. And finally, when they called our case and we went up, you have to understand this is a real estate deal that had like 7 different investors in it, and they're trying to hold us each accountable for the entire amount of the failed, for the foreclosure and so forth. So there were a lot of people that went up when they called our case. And should I go into the court reporter thing?
Yeah, most definitely. Let's share the love. We're prepping for Wednesday, so at least they'll have a little overview of, and please do.
Okay, so in preparation for going to court, I called a court reporting agency, and I did a couple of extra steps because I wanted to make a record, but I did not want it to be a public record because I don't want to traverse into the public. I wanted it to be a private record, so I wanted to hire the court reporter privately, like you can hire a court reporter to go to a meeting and report the meeting, and nobody else can order the transcript except for whoever hired her privately. So when, can you guys hear me okay? Or
I'm clear.
Yep,
okay.
Very good.
And so what happened is I called the National Association for Court Reporters and spoke to their ethics department as well as the Florida division of the same Florida Court Reporters Association and their ethics department to say, how do I do this? Because I'm going to what I consider a meeting that they call court, but that's not my jurisdiction, so it's not my court. Now, I didn't go into all that with them. I just said, I want to hire her privately. How do I do that? And they told me to give a disclosure. So I gave a disclosure, which I'll give you guys a copy of if you want at Privatis.Me to share with everybody. And so we filled out the disclosure, and then when we hired the reporting agency, I did an email back and forth, and they said, I understand I'm being hired privately. No one else can order this transcript. Is this correct? And so then I wrote back, yes, I confirm that's exactly the relationship. Therefore, when we walked in, we had a court reporter for the proceeding, but we also gave the clerk the disclosure and asked her to give it to whoever she thought was necessary, and she said, I've never had this happen before.
Oh, yeah, go figure. Yeah, a sheep that's not a dead sheep, but a live man or woman. See, that's the world they've all gone to sleep, and we're all waking up.
And so at first she almost wanted to I wasn't sure she was going to accept the fact that I had hired this lady privately. And so I simply said, well, I did call the National Court Reporters Association, and I did call the Florida Court Reporters Association, and this is what they told me to do. And then as long as I had direction from someone she considered was an authority, she felt that that was okay. And she said, okay, I'll file this in the record then, and anybody who wants it will have to know that they can't have it. And I said, okay, and I went and sat down until the case was called. Now,
very good.
Yeah, so that way we would make a record, but keep it private.
Right.
So now the case was called. We did walk into the bar area, beyond the gallery area, but I don't think that's a point of contention really, because we just wanted to sit down and let them do their thing and find out when they were going to let us speak, because we're there in peace, and we don't want to get them all. Get their dander up. So there was one attorney. Go ahead.
That's my job. Get their dander up. I do that really well. Right, John?
So we walked.
Brother.
So we walked up there, and there was one attorney there, and we thought that he was the attorney for the bank. But he was not the attorney for the bank. But it was funny because there's two tables, as you know, when you walk in, one on the left side and one on the right side. We went to the one on the right side, and the other investors who were there that were also being called defendants and so forth, they didn't know what to do, and they're not necessarily willing to study like we are, and so they didn't know what we were doing, but they were there as sheep and following us, and just kind of went, oh, we'll all go over here. And
I love it.
Yeah, lead and they will follow.
Yeah, and the attorney on the other sat at the other table. He was a rather young attorney, and we had never seen him before. We don't know him, and we thought he was for the bank. But it turned out that he was for one of the defendants who wasn't present, and so he got to speak first. But the judge called the bank. The bank guy didn't even show up. He just came on the phone. He appeared by phone.
Yeah, because they're so used to fleecing the flock. Yeah, you just do it over the phone now.
Yeah, it was very laid back. So the interesting thing was the judge, got the guy on the phone, and then he said, so we're here on your motion to compel. They were trying to compel us to provide documentation to the bank so they could try to take money and assets and blah, blah, blah. So the guy gets on the phone and he says, yeah, we're here on a motion to compel, and he runs down the list of the various defendants, and he says, and they didn't give us this, and they didn't give us that, and blah, blah, blah. And this Greg and Cookie, which they called us by our real names, our given, legal names and so forth, the all uppercase and all that. And I'll just refer to us as Cookie and Greg. So, and he basically said, Cookie and Greg, well, they just gave us this, I don't know how to say it, but this religious-themed document. And it was a rather condescending way of saying that they got our DP notices.
Right.
So that actually turned the judge like, because he probably remembered now getting that DP notice, and he kind of got a little grumpy when he heard that. And he didn't know which of us that were all together on that defendant side, he didn't know who was who. There's just a bunch of people standing there. And so then he turned to the other attorney that was representing one of the defendants, and that guy just said, oh, yeah, our guy will compel. He'll send the stuff in, give us 30 days, we just need more time. And he just threw his guy under the bus and said, yep. So then the judge turned and looked at this whole group of people and looked at us and said, well, anybody here want to speak? And so Greg and I looked at the people behind us and said, go ahead, with our hand gesture, like, you guys go first. And they were like, deer's caught in the headlight, So I said, hey, Greg, we're up. And Greg said, yep. And we stood up, and we had our little 3x5 cards, and we were ready to speak. And Greg, you want to take it from there?
Yeah. So it was, we, like this first time we've been in there, so yeah, it's a little nerve-wracking because you're not used to it and everything, and it wasn't going like kind of like how you'd think it would. He just kind of like said, "Do you have anything to say?" It's not like they're trying.
It never does, does it? Never goes how you think, but you want to be prepared for everything.
Yeah. So I just kind of stood up and said, I'm a living beneficiary of the legal person, Greg Mackey, and I'm also the beneficiary for the constructed trust, and then gave the case number. And he's just like looking at me going, and so, and I said, the clerk was there. So I said, I presume that she's the trustee. And he goes, her? I said, no. I mean, yes, her. She's trustee. He said, no. And he's kind of a little confused. And I said, so then I guess you're the trustee. And he just kind of looked at me and didn't say anything. And I said, are you the trustee? And he still didn't say anything. And then all of a sudden, I think he figured out what was going on, because then he just started saying, I grabbed his motion, and there'll be 30 days and all that, and he starts just trying to talk us out, talk over us and get the heck out of here. So Cookie starts talking, and she goes, Mr. McHugh, are you the trustee? And he still didn't say anything. And,
you want me to tell him what I said after that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I said, "Are you refusing to answer the question?" And I was a little bit assertive about it. And so he's looking at me, and I decided it was time to read off my card now, which this part of the card was John's wife, did in their proceeding, and it was, "We sent you notices of our status over 81 days ago, and you, Mr. McHugh, put them in the record, which you should not have done." And I was admonishing the judge a little bit.
Right.
And I said to him, "That has gone unrebutted by all the parties. Therefore, it's a fact, and all the parties are in agreement that we are the living beneficiaries of this constructive trust and our own trusts." And then I said, "Are you the trustee?" In the meantime, he's getting upset with me because he's trying to hurry up this proceeding, and I knew he was going to duck out. And so I'm talking, and he's like, "This meeting is over. This motion, I'm granting this motion." And he's pounding his little gavel. And then he looks at me, apparently, and guys, I did not hear this. They told me later that he told me that if I spoke over him one more time, I would be held in contempt, but I didn't hear that. I was too busy doing my thing.
Good.
So then he didn't answer again, and so I said to Greg, and I said it as loud as anybody could hear it, "I believe he's abandoned his post." And Greg looks at me and he goes, "Mr. McHugh, you have abandoned your post." Because basically at this point we've asked him more than 3 times whether or not he's the trustee. He was able to tell us that the clerk was not. Therefore, he made a determination that he must know who the trustee is because he told us she wasn't. And if he can eliminate her, he must know who is. Not only that, my logic tells me that from everything I've been learning from everyone here, if he doesn't answer, he didn't deny. And if he didn't deny after 3 times, he accepted being trustee. Therefore, we said, it's time to do the discharge. Go ahead, Greg, tell him what you said. Oh, wait, there was something that happened right there. I'm sorry. One more thing. So here he apparently is telling me I'm going to be held in contempt for talking over him, which I don't hear. I tell him everybody's in agreement that we're the living beneficiaries. And the next thing you know, the bailiff comes over to my husband and gets 2 inches from his face. And the bailiff is literally taking his hand and almost from his nose and then outstretching his arm saying, "It's time to leave. Get out of this courtroom." And he's yelling at Greg, and Greg didn't flinch, let me tell you. I'm so proud of him. He didn't flinch. And the other people behind us did not know what to do, and they all fled the courtroom. They ran out the door.
Beautiful. And
my husband turns and looks to his right, and this bailiff is like 2 inches from his face yelling at him, and he says, "I do not consent." And the guy just, his eyes got huge, the bailiff. And then he goes, "Are you a public servant?" And at this point, nobody said anything. So I turned and looked at the both of them, and I said, "Yeah, he's a public servant."
He's a public servant for the corporation. Yeah, for the corporate whores. He gets paid by the corporate whores. They're all one private corporation.
Yeah.
So Greg turns at him, he had already said he didn't consent, and he said, "You may sit down." And he turned and he looked at the judge and he said, "Look." Go ahead, Greg.
Yep.
I said, "Look, we came here in peace. We all want to settle this, and so that's what we came here to do." And so, we can't. So I'm instructing the trustee to discharge the debt and pay all taxes and tithes. And I said, with that, I dismiss this case and meeting adjourned.
Very good. And you walked out on your free volition.
And then we walked out. Yes.
Yeah, not like poor brother John when they drug him out his first rodeo.
Just hardening up my skin.
Yeah, right. That's it.
Oh, yeah. So that's. But we told the court reporter. He said, "Stay there until it's all over. In case there's something that we miss when they after we leave, they say something."
Yep. That's great.
But the interesting thing is, though, is that we're all talking afterwards and everything. But so we go home and we're wondering, it's like, well, what happened there? Do you think it really mattered, or do you think they actually understood what happened? And I'm like, I don't think so. I think they're just going to do the motion, and then they're going to here comes the order and all that. But 2 days later, we get a very interesting email from the bank's attorney. And in this email, there's a cover letter, and it says, Dear Mr. and Mrs. Mackey, it says, enclosed, please find the proposed order that we will be sending to the judge. And we would appreciate any comments you have on it. And if we don't hear anything from you by the 29th, we'll send it in as is. And then it says, if you have any questions, please feel free to call me. And in there, is the proposed document. So I think we are going to have some comments on that. And we're working on it this weekend to go and send it back to them on Monday.
Yep. Yeah, well, it's because it's just a counter offer. That's their offer, and now you're bringing the counter offer, and we're going to put this is the objective. See, they never expect us to come in peace. They never expect us to literally give them a counter offer that they can't meet or beat because they never have a valid claim. And so, hey, I hope they got a valid claim to bring forward. And the proof's in the pudding. It's sort of like Brother John here is he spent 4 months on his arm wrestling process, but the upside is it's come out the other side. So good things are happening, folks. This is where we get the wake-up call, and we're going to direct the flow, where we live, Brother Michael and I. And we're coming, like I say, in peace, and that's the whole objective. But they've been operating. It's a lot of dirty deeds going on there. It's just tricks for kids hours. The email, you got to love it. They sent you an email. I couldn't believe that. But hey, we'll share the love, because you don't want to acquiesce by saying nothing, but you're not warring. So, hey, bring the claim, and we can move forward. Because we all know they've already hypothecated this game. It's already a done deal. They got paid. It's just another scam to milk the sheep or the fictions who weren't paying attention while they were on watch.
Exactly, Peter. So, guys, I'm very proud of you. How freeing was that for you to actually stand up to those nefarious ones? How much power did that give you?
Oh, it was
awesome.
Go ahead.
It's very very empowering. I will say
it is,
that.
Isn't it?
And you know what? The first time is the hardest, and next time it's going to be, it just gets easier because you know who you are.
Exactly.
You're not afraid to tell them who you are.
Exactly.
And if I can comment there, what I found was very interesting. We did have 3 people there in the gallery as sort of witnesses to what happened, in case we want to have them do affidavits or anything like that. But the point is, their comments were very interesting. So far, it was, wow, you guys controlled that courtroom.
Yep.
Exactly.
And that was a powerful thing. And one of them was sitting next to an attorney, and they were all scattered throughout, so they weren't sitting together. And so one was sitting next to an attorney who had nothing to do with this, and she leaned over. Well, apparently they were counting. He was counting under his breath. 1, 2, waiting for us to ask him the 3rd time and him to deny or not say anything for the 3rd time. And he goes, under his breath, our friend said, one more time. And the attorney looked at him, and he told us that she said, yeah, just one more time. And then when it happened, she apparently leaned over to him and said, wow, this is some old law. I have never seen this done.
Nice.
Well, we're going to create a direction of flow for the masses. So, folks, you are trendsetters. You stepped into the breach, and as I always say, and of course, Brother Greg from Chicago's calling me. And anyways, I know you guys got a beat feet, and that's good. I got to step outside because I'm getting binded up. We're going to break. Hey, guys, will you bless us with your presence for next Wednesday? Because we would like to get the whole story. Hopefully we have the video and the transcripts at that time for posting, and we can cover this, basically for the minute details and bring it all forward on a different level so we can share with the love with our brothers and sisters in the world to show what's really going on.
We would love to. We can only do, what do they say, pay it forward. Thank you, John, and everybody who helped us, and you didn't even know you helped us. Thank you so much.
Yeah. It makes it all worth it, you know what I mean? Just be able to help one person standing up against these guys and to be able to, show other people that it can be done. It's worth every minute of our nightmare, to change us around, stop this. Good job, guys. Very proud of you. Awesome job.
So
we'll see you Wednesday. Then.
Yes. Thank you. Hey, folks. We thank Cookie and Greg for showing up, and Brother John and I, we're going to do what we do. Folks, hey, guess what? It's break time, and, hey, everybody go do what they do when they go to break, and we'll be right back. Thank you, guys. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Thank you, too.
Okay.
We'll catch you later.
Privatis.Me. No longer do we need to hire lawyers, worry about past debt, or count on doctors to fix our health problems. Privatis.me. Specializing in real education about the legal system, administratively eliminating your past debt, and teaching you simple, natural ways to restore your health, including cancer. Join today for free. Learn how to live in private and allow yourself to overcome and stop living in fear. Become a paid member for $10 per month and receive Peter and Michael's $300 debt elimination package for free. Privatis.me. Privatis.me. Take a walk on the private side.
All right. Anyways, hey, I had to go there for a minute, brother. I love it. Take a walk on the. Only Michael would come up with the take a walk on the private side and take it from a theme song from the '70s. Anyways, you gotta love it. Hey, we're outside the box, brother. It's all good. Anyways, winds of change. Hey, folks, there are winds of change, and they're upon us. I always talk about the paradigm shift. It's time to go. Hey, everybody get on. Everybody come to my house. It's really time to get everybody to come to the house because they're really not getting the memo. Hey, Brother John, I'm going to be doing some heavy lifting with Brother Zach. Oh, yeah, and we'll have to change up that little advert, I guess, because, basically the 1st of May, it goes to, it's all this heavy lifting and construction. Everything's under construction all the time at our house. So I got to keep improving. I got to keep the lights on. I got to pay the webmaster, all this other stuff. So, we want to share the love because we're going where no one else is going before. So here we have another story coming forward as a party operating in the proper capacity as a live man or woman. And this is what we've been speaking of from the beginning. Nobody's really looking at us real hard, but we're going. Hey, brother, wait till I get done with this YouTube that I'm going to put on the cover page, so everybody can actually get the guided tour to come to my house. I'm going to show them where all the cupboards are, all the food is, so they can eat from the feast of the tree of truth and knowledge. Isn't that special?
A beautiful thing, beautiful thing. I'm so proud of Cookie and Greg. It just, warms my heart. Even when they're telling me the story, I remember feeling that thrill in the pit of your gut, when you're going through this, and these guys are trying to play their games and doing their intimidation tactics and stuff, and standing up, against these guys and not being afraid to stand, and treating them like the man and women that they are. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. That was just.
They didn't even call the judge the judge. They called Mr. McHugh. They were. Nice. They didn't bow down. They didn't traverse. They stood fast in honor, in peace. They made it very apparent that they were there in peace. See, folks, you gotta love it when we start a trend. Hey, welcome to the new trend. This is the trend. So we're gonna direct this flow on a whole different level, John. I see all this beautiful energy coming forward. I always talk about the energy, because it is everything. Hey, we're electromagnetic flow, every darn one of us. And when I speak on the alternative modalities to help people get their minds right, so they can break the aluminum barrier that's built up in their brain because they're basically compromised. So that's what I'm going to do with Brother Zach tomorrow. We're going to do. We're going to take a tour, and he's going with me on the tour, so we can explain what is here, why we're doing what we're doing, the whole, everything that I need to give them clarity. I guess so. I'm going to go to the next level. I'm going to show how the incestuous horrors that be all tie together, one big beautiful nucleus, and you're just a hypothecation event. However, you have the capacity. If you wake up and become alive, you can remove those presumptions. And speaking of presumptions, it's getting ugly out there in third-party debt land. So, hey, you know what? Hey, John, I'm going to the next level. I know a little bit about how to. Excuse me?
What are you up to now, Peter?
Oh, you know me. I'm pulling another rabbit out of my hat. It's all beautiful. Yeah, it's called Misprision of Felony, where you get the rat bastards out to their daddy, and he's got to do something about it. Otherwise, and he's not going to throw himself under the bus. He's going to throw the third party who is bringing the falsity, because they're committing fraud on so many different levels, John. They have nothing but hubris, because they've been getting away with fleecing the estates of my brothers and sisters for their entire lives, because they all fell asleep. They didn't know that they were alive. And that's why they've classified everybody as dead, under the SQV Trust, all this other stuff that I've covered over the past months. So I want to take everybody on this beautiful tour of my house and all the free portals, and everybody, yes, I want them to be able to pull the rose-colored glasses off first before they come to the regular buffet table. So this is where tomorrow I'm going to go ahead and do some heavy lifting and compress an actual tour. I'm going to be the tour guide for Privatis.Me with Brother Zach, and we're going to bring forward everybody, because, brother, half the people don't even know that we have a cancer page, and it's massive huge, because I got my brothers and sisters dying for a lie on so many different levels, because they didn't know that there was alternative methodologies that Big Pharma, FDA, all the clowns of the circus don't want us talking about. So guess what I want to talk about, which I can, at my house, in private. I'm going to talk about it till I beat the brakes off, and they're going to get clear-minded, or they're not. It's going to be one or the other. So, but I'm going to give them the opportunity to know where all the cupboards are, because if they don't know where the cupboards are, they don't know that they're supposed to open those cupboards. So I'm going to share with them how to open the cupboards, and that's going to be on the front page, and it's going to be basically direction of flow on a whole different level. I thought we covered it on the 8 steps, but I'm going to go a little deeper, because clouded mind says no. So I'm going to try and remove all the clouds so they understand what we're about, why we're doing what we're doing, and how we're bringing this beautiful shift to all my brothers and sisters who are waking up.
Exactly. See, we just have to remember how we got into this situation. You know what I mean? We were all born men and women, and we were given tools, let's just say, to act in commerce. But we've forgotten that we can be the puppet or we can be the puppet master, and all of us are running around being the puppet instead of being the puppet master. But we can be the puppet master at any time we choose. It is our right. We have, just exchanged our rights for benefits and privileges to allow ourselves to, work in this commerce world that we have in. But if it's not benefiting us at the time, we can certainly choose to be the living man or woman.
Yep. Anyways, hey, John, I guess I'm feeling all right tonight to let a couple through. We got a caller up,
Good.
I guess. So we're going to share the love. And anyways, let me go to my
It looks like Daryl's been holding there at
right,
216.
Daryl's in a holding pattern. Hey, come on in. I cleared the tarmac, brother. You're clear for landing. Come on in.
How you doing? This is Daryl Pennell calling from Cleveland, Ohio.
Hey, Daryl. How you doing, brother?
Not too good. I'm calling. Just had a quick question. I got a child support order to come to this hearing, or whatever you want to call what they call themselves, child support enforcement. It's like my daughter now is like damn near 40 years old. It's like $4,000, and I kind of don't really want to go because I know what's going to happen when I get there. It's a bunch of bull, and I really don't know what to do about this situation.
Yeah. Well, this is, like I say, everybody's giving over, brother. You got contracts with those folks over there. You got a marriage certificate as well with the state?
Yeah, but this is not by a lady that I married. This is just another girl that I used to mess with.
Right. Once bitten, twice shy, I guess.
We never took no test to prove it was my child or nothing.
Right. Yeah, well, I really don't have direction of flow for all these issues, brother. I appreciate you sharing. What I'm doing is I'd share with people how to remove presumptions via all these contracts, adhesion contracts they've made. So you're saying this girl is 40 years old, your daughter, and they're still trying to hypothecate an old debt from how many years ago?
Right. 40 years.
Right. Did they send you a debt collection letter from a third-party debt collector?
No. If they did, I'd never received nothing.
Right. Wow. So how I'm trying to figure out, John, how he gets hung out and this child is a 40-year-old adult, and they're still...
Okay, let's just clarify this again. Sir, how old are you?
I'm 55.
Okay, and you're saying you have a 40-year-old child that's trying.
Well, actually, she's 30. She's 37.
Okay, and they're trying to get back child support from way back then, basically, is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, that's quite the case. Yeah.
You see the far-reaching hypothecation tentacles reaching out here.
Wow.
It's like the reviving debt from the grave.
Okay, first of all, do you have any contracts saying that you were going to pay this money at one time or anything like that?
No.
Okay, so you have no contracts with anybody, right?
No.
So basically what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to rebut the assumptions and notify these people that are trying to get a hold of you, let them know that you are the living beneficiary, that there has been a mistake on the record, and that basically you don't know what they're talking about. This is, but you're going to have to do some paperwork. You're going to have to do some registered mail. You're going to have to, you're in for a little bit of struggle, but I don't think it's going to be too much. It sounds like it's just someone digging, just seeing if they can't get their hand in the cookie jar, see if you're low-hanging fruit kind of thing. This is quite the different situation. Usually, it's a child growing up and stuff like that, and, if you can help out your kid, you should. But this sounds like this is just someone trying to get their hand in your cookie jar.
Yeah, I just don't get how they can reach beyond the grave when the child's 37, and this is all, this just smacks of extortion and skullduggery from a different level. I've never heard anything like this before. So this is new to me.
Basically, almost like you're doing with your third-party debt, you want to have them bring forward a proper claim. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Make them prove that they have a proper claim against your estate. Tell them, listen, I want a bill or something from someone saying that I owe this money. Bring it forward, and then deal from there, kind of thing. But they need to bring forward a proper claim.
They got me scheduled to come to court on the 20th of June.
Okay. Well, hey, you know what? Maybe he needs to do the third-party debt, the debt validation package, because it's still asking for a valid. They say he owes something. It's still considered to me third-party debt or debt of a nature. I would highly advocate doing the third-party debt validation process and ask for the valid claim. See, you'll be glad to pay it, brother, as long as they can produce a valid claim. The problem is it's a dead entity trying to attach to you as a dead entity, but when you come forward as a live man, I think it would behoove you to administrate the debt verification. And by the way, we're just creating videos, so literally you can follow the videos to administrate the process, how to properly and correctly do it. Who's on this? DPS for Ohio or Cleveland or whatever?
It's CSEA, Child Support Enforcement Agency.
Yeah, CSEA. It sounds like a third-party corporation to me, John.
It does sound like that to me as well.
And what do they say? How much do they want to fleece you from that doesn't exist?
$4,800.
From how long ago? How long has this been ongoing?
Well, my daughter's 37. This is the first letter I even received about any of this. My ex-wife said a few months back they had been sending me letters about what I owe and all that, but she just threw it in the trash because me and her don't even talk. But I just happened to get this, and some kind of way they found my mother's address and sent it to my mother's address.
Yeah, well, it's just a
I just sent back no contract with one of the Peter's debt packages, and give us a call back after you send one of those to them. And I think this might just flitter away real quick.
You need to find a name at the top of the pecking order. But we're not going to deal with this here. I'll tell you what, brother. You go ahead and send me an email. Get up with my producer. She'll give you my email address, and
okay.
We'll dialogue about this a little further, and let's see what we can do. We'll share the love. This is insane train, but I'm loving it. We'll have some fun with
very
this.
Interesting. Yes, exactly.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah, maybe start with the paternity test too.
Right.
My goodness. Anyways. Very good, brother. We'll share the love. Get with my producer. She's in got another caller in the queue. I don't like yelling out my email over the phone. So
right, I understand.
get with the one who brought you in the front door. That's my producer. She'll get up with you. She'll give you my email address and just say, yeah, I'm the one to talk to you. Put in the subject line. Put your first name and subject and just send it right to me.
Put 37-year-old child support.
Right, yeah. There you go. Put in the subject like 37-year-old child support, and I'll get the memo, and I'll know who you are, and we'll go from there.
Oh, okay. I'll do that.
All right, brother. Hey, thank you very much for coming on. I have another one in the queue, and
731.
Yeah, brain damage, brother. My brain. Yeah, that's what.
Fun here for you, brother.
Fracturization. All right, 731. Yep, you're clear to land on the tarmac. Come on down.
Well, great. Thank you guys so very much. I want to say first off that my name is Marlis, and that I joined Privatis.Me a couple of days ago.
Very good.
Full service
board.
Full service member, that is.
Yep.
Good to hear.
Listen, man, this is so intriguing. I have a couple of things that I am a BP member as well.
Me too.
Awesome. Wow.
Don is
got your mind right.
Yeah.
I had to go to court a couple of days ago.
Right.
On a matter dealing with, I did some, I had done some money orders to liquidate some debt on my vehicles. I got full title back in one. The other one, the guy called me and said, "Hey, on the bottom of this money order it says, if we take this, it settles the debt." And I said, "Yes." And he says, "Well, it's not enough." I said, "Well, did you accept it?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, the debt is settled." He said, "Well, no, I'm going to send it back." I said, "You can't send it back. It's yours." But long story short is, they sent me another invoice stating I owed $500 and some dollars. So my guy did another money order, sent it in. They sent it back after they stamped it and what have you. So,
yeah, well, hey, brother, now they want you to do an impossibility. So see under 3-603 of the Uniform Commercial Code, offer tendered is the same as payment accepted. If they refuse it, they're trying to expect you to do an impossibility, which you can't because there is no money of substance, just money of account. Well, if they won't accept those money orders, brother, then you can third-party debt do the third party debt termination package. We're going to tell them to verify the damn debt. We're going to take them to the deep end of the pool.
Okay, here's the other thing. I went to court. When I walked in, I had already noticed the little city I live in, the county, the judge, and all of this, right? So I walk in the court. It's a little country town. So I go in, and the judge jumps me like, "Did you send a letter in my office? Did you send a letter to the sheriff? Did you send a letter?" I said, "Yes, I did." "What was that all about?" I said, "Well, it's simple. It was to notify you of my status change." "Well, I want you to know. You're gonna be subject to this court." I said, "Your Honor, I come in peace. I mean, I'm here to answer this thing here." So he turns to the lawyer. "Did he send you anything?" It had nothing to do. My sending them this had nothing to do with this case because the case wasn't existing then.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But he just went, man, ballistic.
Well, yeah, that's the test. That's the court test. Like I was just saying a minute ago, you can be the puppet or you can be the puppet master. Just because you said you're the puppet master, you went into their court where they're dealing with puppets. So they're going to test and see if you're a puppet or if you're a man. And that's the whole intimidation thing. You know what I mean? You need to call them on that stuff. They started yelling at you, call on the record. Why are you trying to intimidate me, sir? Why are you yelling at me? Because that stuff doesn't show up on the court records until you put it there on the records. And that gets them real calm real quick. You know what I mean? That's how you get it. You got to know the little tricks to put them in their place.
Thank you, John. Here's the situation. This was a court. This was a small claims court. It wasn't a court record. But he says this. He says, was this, and this was naivety on my part, was those filings have anything to do with this case? And I said no, because I didn't file them because of the case. But in fact, they had everything to do with the case because of my status change.
That's correct.
I said, at the point I said, no, I mean, I didn't. That wasn't the purpose. I filed them. But in other words, he said, so I'm going to have them entered into the record. Long story short, and I'd like to communicate with you guys at another time so you can give me some other direction. Long story short is the woman wanted to get rid of possession of my vehicles. I objected to everything that was going on. First of all, she never established had a relationship with them. Third party, I sent her a third party contract saying, hey, if you want to be a part of this, it's going to cost you $100,000.
Yep.
So she never responded. So I said, if anything, the thing persists, it'll be $300,000. So we go into court. I got another court date, the 25th of May, 23rd of May. Let's think about right. 23rd of May. But so I filed it with DP.
Right. Yeah, you did the writ, and all that stuff.
Yeah,
yeah, it's like they're not getting any enforcement over that side of the house. Yeah, Peter's gonna go. I'm gonna go in a different direction on these misprision of felonies. I'm gonna do a special YouTube educational wise on what it is, why you do it, because all these people do is run over things. So somebody's got to make them accountable. So we're not going to go at war, brother, because we don't go to war. But we do have the right to report a bad act by a bad actor. So this is what we get to do, and I've done this process on misprision of felony, and we'll do it as a live man though this time. See, I was a dead entity before, and I still beat the brakes off him. So we're gonna do a change up. See, because when you go to the top of the pecking order, which is the state attorney general, he's the head trustee of the estates. So yeah, they don't mention that anywhere, but. So we're going to see if we can get Daddy to do his job, and if he doesn't do his job, we can take it. I can take it to his daddy. So, anyways, they have to do something because once you make them aware that a crime has been committed, so you're not charged with it. You're going to share who is basically done the crime. But believe it or not, the state attorney general, if he does nothing about it, he becomes culpable for the same criminal act. So they like to make things go away. And that's fine with me. We like to make things go away too, because we're going in peace. But is this what is this third party? What is the debt in reference to?
This is relative to my vehicles that the money orders were to discharge.
Okay. Right. Okay, I'm confused. I need a little more clarity. Payment plan for these vehicles, property tax for these vehicles, or?
Well, what I was paying them monthly, and so when I came into DP and to the knowledge of what was going on, one of our brothers in another state says, "Well, I can have these discharged through our account with the Treasury Department."
Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, you want to be careful with that right now because. DP, is still young. Okay, that's why, like with the charging sheets and all that kind of stuff, those are great to keep record and all that kind of stuff. And those are great, like when you go to file a claim. You have all that evidence against them, and how if you have to go that far. Now, for setting off debts and all that kind of stuff, that's really in its infancy. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's been going around the forums and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, if you already had a contract with these guys to pay your monthlies and all that kind of stuff to take care of these vehicles, that's different than a third-party debt. You know what I mean? You've agreed with them to pay this off. So
even though it's still the same scam, hypothecation event, we are well aware, brother. However, we're in transition, so pulling up stakes in midstream. Even brother JT says do not. So that's the whole point. Anyways, I understand exactly what you're doing, and under negotiable instruments laws, you'd be dead nuts, right? But they move the goalpost so many damn times, so we're going in different directions.
And even the federal treasury accounts are all moving and all that kind of stuff right now too. So we're definitely in a time of transition.
Okay.
So.
All right.
I guess.
So, having said that, and where I am, what is your
how much do you owe left on the vehicles?
They're saying on one Well, they said about 15 grand.
15 grand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, hey, yeah. Well, if it goes into default, yes, they'll just come steal the cars. Yeah. It's my friend Courtney. Hey, brother, my friend Courtney actually beat the brakes off of the clowns because they farmed it out to a third. They couldn't get the car, brother. Anyways, that's a story for another day. She did a really good job. She really she came out the other side. They quit looking for the car, and she beat the brakes off a third. It got actually. It actually went to a court issue. It was the judge said without prejudice because she was asking them to verify the damn debt. They didn't verify nothing, and a court actually issued, which I've never seen happen before. The case was basically discharged with prejudice, which means it could never be heard again. Yet they farmed it out to another county, another scumbag, bottom feeder. I mean, these people think we are all dead asleep. Anyways, but she did have success, brother. I guess I guess if it goes into default, they come steal your vehicles unless you can secure them somehow, and then you could actually go at them the other side, go at this with the verification of debt after the fact. But yeah, at this point, I'm not sure what to tell you.
Okay.
All right. Okay. I'm sorry, brother. Anyway, well, we'll be moving forward on multiple levels. We keep moving our goalposts too while we're moving. So it is all about the estates, about the trust, and we're all in transition, learning as we go, and the wheels of the bus.
Here's my tip. If you can't pay cash, you can't afford it.
Yeah.
All my vehicles, I've got 4 kids. I don't make that much money, but my house is paid for, my cars are paid for, and I have no credit whatsoever. And that's the first step. You know what I mean? We got to start living within our means and stuff like that. And we can't, just go out there and grab these debts and be like, oh yeah, well I found a way to pay this off, a different way. I know what you're looking into and stuff like that. It's correct, This is how life is supposed to be here, and this is what we're trying to set up. But we're just, like I say, in the infancy right now. But good job, brother. You're walking the correct line. You're trying to find your way. You're trying to get your freedom. So keep it up. It'll all work out just like it did with us.
Yeah.
Hey, now, anyway. So one last thing, because it's all material, and should I pursue this or just let it go?
Yeah,
well, like I say, if you already made a contract with them, you kind of, you already gave your word that you would pay this debt. It's not like it was something, that it was, underhanded or credit card, this kind of stuff. It is underhanded, but, you did agree to pay this debt, right? So it's not the same as a default loan or something coming back on you or something, or a mortgage or something where you're actually the creditor. And you are in this situation as well, but, like I say, you already signed up to contract.
Yeah, well, like I say, hey, brother, what we need to really start doing is everybody needs to go there and start removing presumptions. I'll have the videos posted here very, very soon, probably in the next 2 to 3 days. If you're on the voter rolls, get off. If you have IRS issues and back 1040s that you filled out by mistake, you need to remove those presumptions. Anyways, it starts with removing presumptions because otherwise we've given over. Anyways, we are going to break. It's 8:02. I'm late on the break. Didn't mean I don't want to be rude. And brother, thank you. Just stand fast. Keep going to Privatis.Me, like I say, and definitely we have more beautiful stuff coming as far as the education and removing these presumptions and the documents. We're going to show you exactly how to remove those presumptions administratively, which is it's a must start. That's the starting point. Otherwise, that's why they keep binding us up on all this other stuff. Anyways, on that note, I got to let you go, brother. We're going to break.
One last thing. One last thing before you go, Peter. You didn't hear me?
Not really. Yeah, okay, now I am.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, maybe I can just do is talk to you later. I know you're going to break.
All right, brother. Yeah, we'll catch you on the rebound. Hey, folks, guess what? It's that time again, and we're going to go do what we do on break, and we'll be right back.
All right, peace.
Thank you, brother.
Take care, bud.
VerdictProductions.com. Do you have footage you want turned into a video? Weddings, family gatherings, sports games? High-quality video production for any project you have. We also create detailed slideshows if you have information you want to put on YouTube or your website for all to see. Many other services including audio enhancement, music production, and CD mastering for your band. Need a company logo or an ad? No problem. We also specialize in graphic design to make your business or website stand out. Head over to verdictproductions.com for a quote. Lowest prices on the net guaranteed.
All right. Hey, welcome to the back top of the hour, folks. Yep, new direction of flow. Yep, wake me up inside, John. You got to love it.
Isn't that what we're trying to do with these people? Wake us up inside.
Yeah, because we all fell asleep, and that's, I use analogies, John. I like to tie in with messages, and that's why I use music that sort of gets through, or maybe if they listen to the words, they're saying,
Get to that subconscious a little bit, eh, Peter?
Right. Anyways, we had somebody coming in the front door, and I guess I'm going to have to hang up and call back in because I got major echo here, feedback. I don't know what the heck it is.
Yeah, I'm hearing it on my end, too, a little bit.
Well, maybe my producer can make light of it. Maybe not. Anyways, I've never had echo like this before. And she says she's not getting it, but I am. So I'm going to dump, brother, and come back in. Maybe it's me.
Okay.
And I'll be right back and carry the ball and share a little love about whatever. Hey, I'll be right back.
All right, Peter. I'll definitely carry the ball. But we're having quite an interesting night tonight, folks. We're having so many people coming forward and, hearing our message and living as a living man and woman. And we're starting to see the results. And it's such an exciting time. We're here in this time in our experience for exactly this, to see and to experience great things. We have to all remember, I say this repeatedly, that we are old souls here on this planet at this time, and we're here to experience sometimes ups and sometimes downs, but it seems that when we stay in the light and in the peace, it all works out eventually. Sometimes it can be a hard battle, and when things are down, you'll find that even in your darkest times, some of the greatest things in your life can happen, things that you've never expected. And that was just a great call there tonight with Cookie and Greg. Just absolutely beautiful. Really warmed our hearts here. I have Jessie with us, and she's just so tickled, basically, to have people that are actually, living what we are trying to show people, and being in the breach and going through this ourselves. It's just a wonderful thing. So I hope we can keep it up, and I hope we can change this paradigm, and I hope we can start waking up these nefarious ones and letting them know, we are waking up. We're not going to take this anymore laying down, and that things need to change. We need to get out of this power struggle with the money and the fiat currencies, and we need to start taking back our power how it was intended. We seem to have gotten ourselves stuck in this illusion, but we're working our way out of it, slowly but surely.
All right.
Are you back with us, Peter?
I am, and I don't hear no echo now.
Okay.
Yeah, I posted a little something in your box a little earlier. I mean, this is like the tail wagging the dog. Now we got tracking, police state registry system being set up. Isn't that special? For vaccinations. Now they want to track you to see what poisons you haven't had yet. I couldn't believe it. This is on Activist Post. I want to cover something. Folks, if you're not paying attention to what's going on right in front of you, first of all, turn off the idiot box. Second of all, go to the alternative media sites where you can get some valid proofs, information, because they're not talking about this on lamestream media. You got rents.com, Activist Post, a plethora of excellent alternative sites for everybody to get their minds right to see what's going on in front of us. It's not about fear, folks. It's about paying attention. These people, they've obviously lost their minds, but they think you don't have a mind anymore because, they just keep doing all this other stuff. So, hey, that's why I say we're going to remove presumption, John, because, it applies to slaves. It applies to those who consent. This is what we teach over here, folks. We teach not how to be adversarial, but how to remove that consent. Because if you've given it over via contract, they think you're one of theirs. That's why they're doing dictates in Oregon with forced compliance by judges, fiction, corporate whores, to uphold the corporate whores' profit margins by forced compliance on shots that actually compromise the immune system. I mean, you know what? Remember I told you about the needle, John? I'm really good with the needle. I was in the Navy. I got plenty of practice. Yeah, well, we're going to stand you at the front of the line first, and I'll be the first one to give the shot. Bring your children, like bring your family members, and I'm talking about the doctors, just like they scummy colleges. 90% of them will poison you with the swill, but yet they won't give the same modalities of treatment of chemicalizing their own family members. No, they use the alternatives that we're talking about. Gee, go figure, John. Why would that be?
Imagine that, eh? Yeah, definitely they don't want to drink their own Kool-Aid, that's for sure. That should tell you something. You know, we have to remember, too, immunization and vaccines are not the same thing. You know, the idea of immunization was a great idea, you know. It's just that nefarious ones took over these products and, you know, started giving out vaccines and what used to be immunizations and adding all this garbage and toxins to it in an order to, you know, subjugate us and to order to, you know, make us docile in order so that we can't see because of the veil that's been put over our minds and this kind of stuff. So, but, hey, at least we know ways to clean this stuff out, eh, Peter?
Yeah, you know? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, MMS and multiple, you know, stuff to make you alkaline instead of acidic, and food-grade hydrogen peroxide, dirt cheap, $30 bottle will last you years. You're golden. It's literally a penny a dose or something. It's ridiculous. But I want to read this, John. I posted this in your box. I'm going to post it over to my producer so she can put it in the chat room or wherever she posts this thing. Yeah, folks, we do have I think Michael's setting up a Twitter page and Facebook page on Privatis.Me as well.
Beautiful.
And we're doing a lot more heavy lifting. That's the whole point. We want to get out there because, like I say, the stuff we're covering, nobody's talking about it like this in this context. And like I say, how to literally clear your mind so that you can move forward and break the chains that bind. As a matter of fact, most of us were holding up our own chains. That's the problem. Anyways, my producer's 3 steps ahead of me, and she's already posted it on the Facebook page because I really like to share these beautiful tidbits with her, and she puts them out there. So this is really good exposure. But I want to read this little article, John. It's really short. I mean, this is what it's come down to, folks. If you're not paying attention, GPS technology now a threat to national security. HIV vaccine infects 41 volunteers. You gotta love it. Folks, they're garbage. It's all garbage. Anyways, check this out. I'm going to read this to you. I'm just trying to give you a heads up. The Centers for Disease Control has been quietly, John, because we don't want the sheep to wake up.
Oh, no, we definitely don't. But they will put that information out there so they can have plausible deniability, you know.
Right. Yeah, so they've been quietly rolling out a nationwide program called the Immunization Information Systems, IIS, registering your vaccine information into a database. This effort has been run in parallel with state vaccine registry implementations. And what is the intention of such programs? I wonder, John. So I'm like an inquiring mind, so I want to know. Anyways, this gentleman's colleague, Leslie Menokian, a writer and director of the movie The Greater Good, wrote in a recent article, the CDC, well, here's another corporate whore, has openly stated that vaccine registries are a tool to identify areas of under-vaccination. Gee whiz, give me a freaking break. So that they can be addressed and brought into, they say compliance. What, forced compliance? Yep, but if you're a slave, you haven't divested yourself off the plantation, I guess they can tell their slaves what to do. I know I'm not one of their slaves, but for those that still think your vote counts and stuff like that, remove yourself from the voter roll, start there, because it's imperative. I'm trying to give this direction a flow, John. I'm the simple, stupid guy. I've heard over the last week 3 other people, 3 other organizations like ITCC and some others saying, yep, you must remove yourself out of the body politic, because if you haven't, you're one of their slaves. That's why I posted the slave who owns you. So you know what, John, I'm going to do, because this is so imperative that I get this memo out correctly, I'm going to do a video on slave who owns you, and I'm going to literally do a doggone video on that, and it's a must-watch and a must-read as well. Follow the bouncing ball, and then so I can give them direction of flow of understanding why they've been compromised and why they're merely operating with benefits and privileges, and we're going to share how to remove those presumptions. It's really, really simple, folks. And it's a must step to do. Anyways, let's read the rest of this. It's short. So, let's see. I would like to add to Leslie's statement that since the government, i.e., well, there is no government, it's corporate whores, purchases a large bulk of these vaccines, for example, the vaccines for the children program, it's in their financial. Gee, did they just mention financial? Gee, John, what
That's
am I
not about
saying?
the money, is it?
No, God, it couldn't be about the money. Hey, we're operating in good intent. We love our brothers and sisters. We don't want to poison the living poop out of them. No. Hey, folks, snap out of it. That's the goal. Yeah, it's in their financial interest. See, I follow the money. Been following the money for 25 years. That's why I got the memo to make sure vaccines are consumed regularly. Consumed. I mean, how do you consume a vaccine? Give me a break. Anyways, if you exempt your child from being vaccinated, your refusal is also being tracked and put into a database. What? So they can poison you further under forced compliance at the end of a freaking
that's exactly
gun?
what they tried to get me at school to do. That when I didn't want a vaccine for my children, they wanted me to fill out this form saying that I did not want to vaccinate my children. It was a vaccination exempt form. And I was like, well, no, thank you. I don't need anybody knowing. I don't need to not vaccinate my children. What's up with this? You're tracking.
Yeah, you gotta love it. Hey, folks, here's your irrevocable proof. Let's walk through the rest of this article, because this is the crap that makes me nuts, John. But I gotta cover it, because if you're not getting it, folks, you're gonna get it in a different way. Anyways, you gotta love this. If you exempt your child from being vaccinated, your refusal is also being tracked. Anyways, but first, what does tracking every vaccine you or your child or children have ever been injected with look like? Well, big plans for you. I want to make this very real for you folks. The government collects information on who vaccinates their children, who does not. They know how many children have had their vaccines. They also know how many children have opted out of being vaccinated. They have the data. The government has big plans, and the most outrageous part of this entire scheme, and it is a scheme, folks, is you don't have a choice. Not if you're a slave, I guess you don't. Your data is entered. In order to accomplish this task, we have to answer 3 basic questions. What data is being tracked, who has access to the tracked data, and what will be done with this data. Let's start with the first question of what is being tracked. Question 1, what data is being tracked? You'll be surprised at how much data is being tracked. Some of the data required, while other data sets are optional. Rest assured, what is optional today can become required in short order. It's called the slippery slope. It's when the camel gets his nose up underneath the tent, and it's been happening ever since 911 at an accelerated pace. Anyways, let's take a look at this. According to the Immunization Information System Function Standards, 2013 through 2017, the following information will be in their databases. Required patient name, first, middle, last. Yeah, they got to attach to a fiction. Optional patient alias name, first, middle, last. Optional patient address, phone number. Optional birthing facility. Optional patient social security number. Required birth date. Yeah, because you were birthed in a hospital, a public hospital. Required patient sex. Wonder what they want to know if you had some or getting some. I don't know. Anyways, whatever. Dude, I got to have a sense of humor about this crazy crap. Anyways, required patient race. Yeah, if you're a brother, you're one of my brown brothers or whatever, or if you're Asian or whatever. Anyways, a required patient ethnicity. Optional. Patient primary language. Required. Patient birth order. Optional. Patient birth registration number. Yep, the registration number. Hypothecation sounds like hypothecation to me, John. Required.
Covering all their bases, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. We want to make sure we can make some big buckolas for the hypothecation events of the masses. Anyways, patient birth, state and county. Optional. Patient Medicaid number, optional. Required mother's name, first, middle, last, maiden. Optional mother's social security number. Optional father's name, first, middle, last. Optional father's social security number. Required vaccine type. Required vaccine manufacturer. Optional vaccine dose. Optional vaccine expiration date. Optional vaccine injection site. Required vaccination date. Required vaccination lot number. And optional vaccine provider. Anyways, do you trust anybody, folks, with your personal information? This leads us to the next question. I got to go here, John. I just have to go here. Anyways, 1 second. I'm coming right back. I just have to do something. Be right back. Just hang tight, brother. Sharing the love. It's all good. All right, let me come back to my deal. Okay, so let's go to question 2. who has access to the tracked data. This is where the language should have you a little concerned because it's extremely vague. Well, what the hell? What's new with the nefarious ones in La La Land? According to the IIS documentation, data can be provided to healthcare providers, public health, and other authorized stakeholders. Look at the word, John, stakeholders. A vested interest. Wow.
Sounds like there's stocks and bonds going on here. More money.
I'm just feeling a hypothecation event erupting here. Anyways, it goes on to say schools, child care, and child camps may also have access to the records. Anyways, one of the major areas of the lawmakers neglected to mention was the power granted to your employer. And consider the fact, this past year, nurses were actually being fired for not having their flu shot, as reported by National News. Imagine if the proper pressure were applied to businesses to meet a government mandate. So let's say I worked for Shaw Group, Inc., a pipe fitting company, and they said, you guys got to get your shots. They did offer them up, John, when I was in the company, and I was trying to get my brain-damaged brothers and sisters to wake the hell up, but they didn't want to hear what I said. The sheep are really good and dumbed down. They go and get that. Well, I'm going to get my shot. Yeah, go ahead, go compromise your immune system. I mean, I would show them documents, my brothers up at the hill, and they just look at me like a deer in headlights because they have brain damage.
You're just planting the seeds, Peter. That's all. You just need to give them some water here and let them grow for a bit.
Yeah. In the meantime, you're compromised. Anyways.
In the meantime, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, that would be given access. Anyways, so if they had to meet business had to meet a government mandate, they would be given access to these records. What the hell does your employer need your dadgum shot records for? You know, I mean, see how the slippery slope moves down and worse. Next thing you know, it's forced compliance at the end of a gun. It's something for you to chew on. Anyways, and that brings us, John, to our last question. Pilot, vaccine, and information flow. Add 2D barcode. Okay, everything's barcoded. Let's see. Data matrix, barcode containing GTIN, expiration date, lot number, scan vaccine. John, what's the name of that? Website you told me about?
Novaccine.com.
Right, novaccine.com, folks. Go look at the garbage they put in this stuff, the aerosol, mercury, formaldehyde. It's any wonder, and this past year, the majority that got the flu this past year, brother, it's because they got the flu shot, because they had a compromised immune system, not the ones that didn't get it. I haven't had the flu in freaking, I don't even remember when I had the flu. I haven't had a flu shot in 30-plus years. Anyways, question 3, what will be done with this data? The Centers for Disease Control's goal is to get 95% or greater vaccine compliance. Gee, that sounds similar to the CCA, Correction Corporation of America, saying we can get 90% in fill rate on our incarceration stations. Yeah,
that's also the same number that I've heard for the population control for the nefarious ones, that they want to get the population down by 95%. That seems kind of coincidental.
I like this. Oh, yeah, no, right. Gee, wow. 95. Anyways, how is this accomplished? It says in short term, if your child is not vaccinated or is being scheduled or is behind schedule, expect phone calls, emails, in other words, harassment, and personal visits from local scumbags, i.e. health authorities. Get the hell out of my world. One function of the CDC's immunization information system is to forecast vaccines due, past due, or coming due. Well, my goodness, boy, talk about minding my freaking business. You want to put
it's such a travesty, too, Peter, because, we've got these loving parents and stuff like that are getting their kids these vaccines, you know what I mean, and thinking that they're helping them, and when they're absolutely doing the opposite. They'll never get their immune system past, like 20, 30% efficiency for the rest of their life, because it's shut down at that point. You know what I mean? When they're born, they haven't had, the chance to let their immune system build up, and we go and hit them with all these toxins, and it just stalemates their immune system right there. This is why we have so much autism, so many allergies, so many childhood diabetes, and all this kind of stuff, and leukemias that were never heard of before, and these mental problems and ADHDs and all this. You know what I mean? It's common sense. It's just like you just want to go around and slap people once in a while, Peter. I'm telling you.
I want to break out my big cup. Anyways, I got to get through this before the break. When these tactics don't work or are ignored, expect a more confrontational strategy. I like that word, confrontational strategy. Keep in mind what happened on Christmas Eve 2009. The U.S. Senate passed H.R. 3590, The bill eventually became public law, but that's for public slaves, 111-148, which gives the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention authorization to create vaccination squads in local communities and seek out unvaccinated children. You got to be shitting me, brother. I mean, really? Really? I mean, come on. The vaccine squads are called the Community Preventative Services Task Force. What a freaking hokey friggin' moniker.
And the sad part about this, Peter, is they have every right to do it unless you remove yourself from the system.
Yes, that's right. If you're in Mammon, Mammon can tell you what the hell to do, folks. So you know what? Come to my house. I'll show you how to get the hell out of Mammon in short order. Real easy. Direction of flow. Because if you don't wake your mind up now, forced compliance is not really forced compliance.
Exactly. They had my little one for 4 months, and bringing them into doctors and stuff like that, and even they knew better than to vaccinate my child because of all my, taking away my assumptions and where my standing was, and they knew that if they would have went that far, it would have been absolute chaos.
Yeah, I'm like Donkey Kong. Anyways, it's 8:28. Hold on a second. Anyways, not only will the task force be working with the CDC's Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices, but on page 1202 of that law, the most relevant responsibilities are listed as D, carrying out immunization promoting strategies for participants or clients. Yes, strategies. It's propaganda, folks. That's all it is. It's propaganda. They got to put the friggin' fear in your mind to think that you need this swill and this garbage to poison your bodies, and it's the biggest crock of crap ever. Oh, my goodness. Good thing I don't get excited, John. I didn't take my medication again today, damn it. Anyways, let's see. Here we got E, providing for home visits that promote immunization through education. Yeah, more friggin' propaganda. Assessment of needs, referrals, provision of immunizations and other services. F, providing reminders or recalls for immunization providers. G, conducting assessments of and providing feedback to immunization providers. H, any combination of one or more interventions described in this paragraph. Or I, immunization information systems to allow all states to have electronic databases for immunization records. Anyways, conclusion before we go to break. The public law exclusively states exactly where the data will come from. The IIS. Can you imagine police or sheriffs escorting the vaccine squads for non-compliant parents? At this point, I really can't put it past them because they've already doing it. Hey, brother.
Hey, Peter, they're already doing it. I can send you some articles where they've actually went into people's homes and did this to their children by forced compliance.
Oh, I know over in Maryland, not Maryland, but one of the states on the east, 300 parents were marched in at the end of guns, forced compliance for their children to get them damn shots. Folks, it's happening right in front of you. Hey, if you want to be a good slave, stand fast, and you can. I'm not. Hey, everybody. Hey, we're at Freewill here, John. We talk about free will. Anyways, hey, folks, guess what? I'm going to go take a Valium, and I'll be right back. It's time for a break. Hey, Johnny, we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
Go to break and do what you do on break. Thanks. Unmuted. I am unmuted, folks. Guess what? I'm going to make your ears bleed for about another 25 more minutes. It's all good. Anyways, brother, I'm feeling this massive shift coming. It's like the energies, everything is coming to ground. Everything is moving forward on multiple levels. I've got all this huge heavy lifting going on.
All the right people are coming together.
Go figure. Metaphorically speaking as well as physically speaking. So, all these beautiful YouTubes, I'm going to be YouTubes or us, I think, over at my house, or at least education via follow the bouncing ball, because I've got clarity all of a sudden that this is what I'm supposed to do. This is where I'm supposed to go. So I'm going to create this beautiful, vibrant educational portal for the masses because, hey, I don't want much. I just want to be a household name. It's beautiful. When you get direction of flow, we started this thing literally as just a thought, Michael and I, and it's just grabbed these. It's growing like wildfire. It's all everything's. And this tells me I'm doing everything. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. It tells me I'm going in the right direction because the wake-up call is upon us. I'm getting a lot of stone throwers. I love it because that tells me I'm really doing something right. When I get a bunch of stone throwers, because they're in conflict, they're warring in their minds, and they haven't come to ground yet. That's a beautiful thing. So I guess I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing and let them keep throwing more stones, and we're going to continue to keep sharing this love. Anyways, I was going to ask my producer if she could hear me singing, because I sing on the breaks because when the songs come on. I got the phone up to my ear, and I'm wondering if she's hearing my vocal acumen and saying, Peter, you're killing me. And I'm looking for a response from my producer to tell me, I don't know if she'll lie to me or tell me the truth, because I do sing, because I love these songs, brother. This is where my heart lives, searching, for these answers. I've been searching so long. Now you know your life has reason when you find who you are and what you're supposed to be doing with your life.
Exactly. That's it. That's what we strive to do. You know what I mean? And we are all here doing what we love to do, even if sometimes we think it's not so loving.
Somebody just gave me their 2 cents and said, yeah, she can't hear you because her ears are bleeding. I love it. Hey, it's all good. Anyways, it's funny. That's it. We share the love here, brother. I mean, it's all good. But we're moving this train forward on so many different levels. I see this beautiful shift. And I want to invite everybody to my house. I want them all to sit at the buffet table of life, the tree of truth of knowledge, not my truth, the truth. They got to find their truth. I can't do it for them. All I can do is open all the doors and windows or the portals and give them the direction of flow. So when my mind says give more direction of flow, it's exactly what I do. And by the way, the producer, she goes, laugh out loud. I don't know if she's laughing because she was listening to me sing or it's because she likes that her ears are bleeding. I don't know. Anyways, I think we do have a caller come in, 647. That's Brother Lennon. He's like our mystery guest who always steps in the door, and I like him coming in because he shares the love. To my producer, led Brother Lennon through the front door. 647, come on in. Your plane's cleared for landing, and put down your gear. I don't want anybody losing any arms or legs today.
Hello, man.
How you doing, brother?
All right. How you doing, man? It was very fascinating to hear that call tonight from those Cookie and
Greg.
And Greg. It was a great job they did. It was very fascinating. I would have loved to have been there. I've seen that kind of stuff.
Well, we're going to share the love with in spades on Wednesday. We should have the video that they got of this going down, sort of like what Brother John did, shared the love. We'd like to share this internationally with our brothers and sisters around the world to let them know that the Emperor has no clothes and their naked bullcrap aggression is going to be met with peace in a different level. And the more people that find out how to go to peace and settle this like real men and women, see, because, Lyndon, this is one thing I'm well aware of. They think we're all infants. Well, look at their codes. When you hire an attorney, you're considered an imbecile, an infant, incompetent, because they're waiting for the adults to arrive, brother. They're waiting for the adults to arrive.
But perhaps a lot of these listeners may think it's very complicated because there's not only one way to do this. John did it one way, but that's not the only way, and Cookie did it one way, but that's not the only way. Essentially, though, what it is what living beneficiary is. There's an estate. There's countries, there's nations, there's these land that have prescribed territory that's affixed to it, an identity of the land, and that's anyone born there is an inheritor of the. Yeah. That's what your estate is. That is the estate. You've inherited it, but those that work for the people that have inherited, they're government. And the presumption is you're government unless you say otherwise. And when you say otherwise, well, then you're the beneficiary. And that's it. It sounds very complicated, but it's not. It's just being
a living man, simple. Most won't get
living woman means you now accept your inheritance.
Yep.
That's it.
Well, and Lyndon, it removes the presumption that you're the trustee. That's so people don't get. They want to cloak you in that yoke of trustee when you step in as a dead entity, so that they can fleece the beneficial interest of the estate because they consider everything registered over as abandoned property. I mean, Michael and I have been sort of covering this. We've dug into trust and estate law. We get it. It's actually pretty cut and dried. But now they're breaching the crap out of the trust, and we're going to go in a different direction.
Well, it's cut and dry, but I hear a lot of the callers, they don't quite understand what we mean by trustee. Trustee simply is, it's the living man has people that work for them, that care for the estate. And those people are the trustees. That can be absolutely, at the moment, it's 99% are trustees because they're part of government. Of course, government is trustee. It's as simple as that. It's not. It sounds so complicated, but it's not. It's not very complicated at all when you understand the living man and people working for them are the trustees.
Right.
that's
And Brother
Michael
was very effective in his court issue. The one who brought the charge had to settle the account. I.e., they issued a nolo prosecu when he stood fast in the living beneficiary capacity 3 times. He did the magic 3, their ecclesiastical 3 times game. And the judge, hey, brother, you're going to like this because the judge looked up, he had his birth certificate bond, and she asked him if he had it. He says, yep, I have this. My friends call me Michael, so he removed the presumption of that fiction, and the judge said, had the birth certificate bond brought forward. She looked at it. They didn't do anything with it, but they knew they were stuck. They knew the jig was up, because Michael said, hey, I'm here to, settle the account. It's all good. And the judge didn't have an aneurysm, but she was talking and clucking her tongue to the DA, and then the judge mentions right off her lips, it goes, well, we're going to issue nolo prosecu, which means that's a removal of the charge, because, see, he who brought the charge has to pay the bill, and that district attorney was fixing to have to bust out her check to pay the trustee, i.e. the clerk of the court. They were trying to get Brother Michael to do it. It's just so simple. I mean, this is really not rocket science. So, but let me just finish. As Michael was leaving, she looks down at her paper. She's shuffling through her paper. She goes, Michael Bukowski, you're free to leave. And then she went from a neutral position of looking down at her papers and looked straight up at Michael in his eyes. She goes, and Michael, you're free to go.
There you.
That speaks volumes. That was a huge thing, but nobody's talking about this. But we're going to
because it works.
It's just so much easier than what people think. They're just afraid in their minds. They've been running off of fear their entire lives, and they don't know how to go to ground.
Well, look, the only thing I always look at things a little differently too. And what I found curious about Cookie and Greg is that they're using email. Well, that doesn't, for me, I do things differently, and I find that there's no need to fear having a mailbox as long as you have a private one, and it's marked private, and anyone that sends mail there has to send it specifically as addressed, that the way you prescribe it. That anyone can do that, and any street that you live on. Now, I'm going to go slowly now. I've discovered something in many Canadian cities. This is very important. People wake up. There's 2 different kinds of spellings for many streets. There's the all-caps spelling, and there's the common spelling where the capital letter is only the beginning of the word. Now, what happens now is in most streets, for example, even in Toronto, almost every single street has 2 different postings. The one for the entity and one for the common law street, the common street. And you look at old mail, and I have done this. I've done extensive research into the mails. And if you look at old mailings, you'll see that the old one didn't exist. The strictly all caps. So then they have the advantage of having both. They don't want to get rid of the common law system. They want to keep it because it's to their benefit as well. And if we take advantage of this, every street has 2 different jurisdictions. So, and if you're on a new street that happens to only have the all caps, there isn't anything at all that doesn't prevent you from going up there and posting it yourself. If you don't like the way it's spelled, and it's every post, every sign on your street has an all caps spelling, you simply go and get a sign made and put it up yourself, and correct it also on your own front of your own building. And you can correct these presumptions just simply like that. I don't know why people, what are you afraid of? If anyone were ever to come up to you and say that's government property, well, who's the government? Who says I can't? Who does the street belong to? Now, I haven't had to do that because every street I've ever lived on has had both postings, and most people seem to be fast asleep to that. Just like you never use a postal code or a zip code if you're in the United States. You never use those things. If you use those things, it does imply that is just you're in the government jurisdiction. And so you have to be aware of these things. You have to have your mind, as Peter says, you have to have your mind right. So go out, folks, go out, have a look at your streets. At least I can't say that in American cities, but I've seen in many Canadian cities that they have two different spellings on the same street.
Yeah.
So you can take advantage. That's why I'm surprised that Cookie and Greg were corresponding by email. Email, I'm not even worried about email. Nobody could ever convict. If you're smart, you could never be convicted of anything by email. Why?
Right.
Because they could never have proof. There's no evidence that you sent it. There's no evidence. There can never, ever, ever be. It could never exist. Of course, they won't tell you. Every time you hear of some rock star or someone getting convicted or something like that, or some sports athlete, it's because they gave the evidence. They were stupid. They opened up their mouths.
They consented. Everybody consents. They go. I need to pull up that video on how everybody consents to go to jail and all this other stuff.
That's exactly. So your friends there, they could. I don't know why you go use email. That to me, that's even worse. I love to get things in writing. In fact, I don't think anyone. I'm not trying to pound my own chest. I think Peter and John, you both have the same abilities that I would have. But I don't think anyone can beat us on paper. I don't think that anybody could make any kind of a charge to us on paper that we could not just laugh at. We could just not just write. There's nothing you could beat me on paper. Nothing. And so why would you not want paper? Paper is a wonderful thing. It's physical evidence that you can own. If you turn it around. When you're sending out those notices, man, those things are so powerful. That AP process that you're running, Peter. That's what people don't understand. When you're getting paperwork from any bailiff, it doesn't really matter who, from any court, you get a hold of that process. You're king. You're king. They can't turn you around. If you get a hold of that paperwork and you run that stuff the way it should be done, then you own it. Why would anyone not want the physical paper?
Yep.
That's the only thing I thought about them. That was one other point I wanted to make tonight.
Yeah.
You were talking about the person, and you went through all that whole list of the questions they ask. What they're trying to there's a fascinating word I would attribute to that, and that's the anthropomorphization. And it sounds like a long Greek word because it is. It's bringing human characteristics to the person. The person can't be vaccinated. The person doesn't exist. But if you identify yourself as a person and you start saying, yes, I'm black, yes, I'm white, yes, I'm this age, yes, I am a sucker, I will do as you say.
Yep.
And guess what you're going to get? You're going to get the big, like you say, you're going to be served the big cup, bend over, and you're going to get the big needle.
Yeah, exactly, because, you gave over consent. So we're going to remove these presumptions. So we really are right-minded on where we're going, and it just gets better and better as we go. Also, brother, let me bring up something else that we're going to move forward on, because we are well aware. Every dadgum summons that's served on people, it's incomplete. It's, what was the word I was using with you, John, earlier? Major defects. Without the bond attached to the summons, it's invalid. Gee, go figure. So Michael and I are going to step it up one more time for another day. We're going to give direction of flow on how to return summonses very, very effectively, very efficiently, because it's just a scam. It's a fraud, and it's really easy. You'll go to date and timestamp and remove that defective document until they can bring forward the valid claim and bond. See, because they don't have no skin in the game. They want you to put your skin in the game. So we're going to remove that presumption. So I think we're fixing to go have a lot more fun. I'm feeling this new tidal wave coming, John. I got my surfboard and got it all waxed up with someplace to go. I feel this huge energy shift coming forward because we're going to share the love. We're going to share the love, and we're going to remove these presumptions on a whole different level that they never thought possible. And speaking of that, I do need to state, let's see, what else? Because I got so much stuff to remember, my poor brain goes to meltdown mode. Let's see, what am I supposed to cover? Somebody posted me and said, hey, you need to talk. Oh, yeah, folks, by the way, the deadline is May 1st. That's Tuesday at midnight for those who are sitting and waiting patiently for my price increase. And it's not so much a price increase; it's cost of doing business because I'm doing YouTubes and all as far as training videos, PowerPoints. I got to pay my webmaster. I got to keep the lights on, all this other stuff. So I think I've let everybody get comfortable. But, hey, give yourself the break and come on over for the full year, and then you're going to get all these administrative processes, all these new things that are coming forward that we can basically remove presumptions and neutralize this garbage, these lies, on a different level. So that will be coming forward. So Tuesday at midnight, I hope everybody gets in through the front door. I've got about 90% still sitting on the other side of the fence, still waiting for an invitation. So here is your official invitation. Come on in. The water is fine. Come on in all the way to the rest of the house and eat at the buffet table because nobody's going to give you what we're giving you. Like I say, I mean, I hear people whine, brother, but we won't go into that. I don't want to be negative. So, you know what? Some just aren't ready yet. And those that are ready, great. Come on over. You're going to have a great educational portal. Those that aren't ready, you just stand fast. But anyways, let's see what else. Oh, yeah, and Cookie's going to be on. Cookie and Greg are going to be in full force. Probably will have the video, the attachments as far as the court the court's attachments, what was said, and that will be available. And we'll probably mass email blast the video, as well as I want to thank Verdict Productions for what they do because Brother Zach, he does some heavy lifting for us, and same with let's see. I feel like I'm doing a shout out here. Andrea.
Are you having fun with this, John?
She's gonna shoot me. She's gonna fire up. Yeah. Anyways, and Brother Dan from CompassOnlineMarketing.ca. He does search engine optimization, which is my 12-minute YouTube has got about thousands of hits now, and I'm going up the ranks like he says. He knows how to post it out there, and we're just trying to share the love, folks. Basically, pull back the curtain to all these lies. And anyways, I'm tired. A lot of heavy lifting today.
It's been a exciting week for us, Peter. We've had a lot of good things happen, and it is taking a lot out of us. But it is definitely a good time to celebrate and a good time to see the fruits of our efforts finally coming through. Seeing people actually jumping on the bandwagon and using what we're teaching. So it's a wonderful time. It's like you say, we're doing exactly what we're here to do, and I'm very excited. Go ahead.
If you're having fun with it, you're doing the right thing.
Well, exactly. If you don't have a smile on your face, you're doing something wrong.
Oh.
Well, get your kids back anyway.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we want to share the love on a different level, and hey. We're going to start posting a little bit of Brother Carl stuff for getting him more access because he does cover some very, very astute things and gives direction of flow. And him and I don't see eye to eye on all levels, but that's all right. It's about coming together as a community, getting the friggin' memo on different levels that I don't cover. I don't have the time. I'm too busy doing all this heavy lifting over on the other side of the fence, which I enjoy doing, because I want to bring a total sense of clarity. Anyways, we're also got a health show on Tuesday night, folks. We're going to be talking about alternatives to you're getting poisoned and dying a miserable death, I guess.
Well, just if I could just say something about presumptions.
Yep.
If you don't understand presumptions and capacity and identity fully, then you do need to remove them. But in some cases, that's perhaps we may disagree slightly on this. Not everyone has to just remove themselves from a voter list if they're not on it. You may first want to find out if a name that you use is actually on it. I can tell you now, in Ontario, that since I haven't voted for so long, I discovered that there's no name that I use that is on the list. So there's nothing to be removed from. So first, people want to find out first if your name is there, and then remove it. Unless you know how to play all presumptions, capacity, and density. If you know how to do that, which takes many, I would say it takes someone at least 2 years to fully understand how to play these games. If you want,
they suck them in on the census list too, brother.
Yeah, well, I'm not on that either because I've never filled one out. And
they tried getting me to fill. They tried getting me to fill one out back in 2010. A guy come to my house trying to tell me I had to do something. Boy, did he get a memo?
I had the same situation here, Peter.
The garbage he sent to me, I returned it. You know how I do. I return it. Anyways, somebody shared with me they almost got arrested for not filling it out. Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, you better bring your brother, your mother, and you better be packing a lunch because I don't fill out shit. You know, forced compliance, nope, I don't think so. I already removed the presumption. You saw the documents I sent to you, and you sent this guy was trying to tell me, well, we got to do this. I said, hey, brother, that's for dead entities. Get your happy ass off my property before I help you off. And he left, and he never come back.
It's all fake.
Maybe my 19-inch arms had something to do with it. I don't know.
No one else wanted to volunteer to come up the driveway, I don't think, after that, Peter.
I don't share love. You're a third-party interviewer. And by the way, for those in the USA Inc., John, what they were doing was doing GPS tracking at every doorstep for where everybody lived. Isn't that special?
Wow. And like I say, it's going to keep getting worse unless we start recognizing what's going on and saying, no, enough is enough. The time is now.
Yep. Anyways, to my brothers and sisters who have been on the call tonight or listening, hey, the shift is here. Like I say, you want direction of flow, share the love. Share Privatis.Me. Like I say, it is free to sign up and to join. Michael changed it from registration because I hate that damn word because we don't register nothing. I told him, we changed it to join because that's what you're doing. You're joining a private club, a private membership, and it's members only. And this is why I can talk about what I talk about behind closed doors. Anyways, we're going to move this train, the ship of state forward with solutions to the problems of the day. Because I really don't see anybody else sharing too many of the solutions with my brothers and sisters. So we're going to share the love. And folks, share this with anybody. If you got email list, share the love. Show them where my house is. Because wait till once I get that new YouTube up with the direction of flow, it's going to change everything. So I really appreciate those that are participants and their members because they're in the nucleus. They're going to grow. They're going to move forward and they're going to get their minds right. And I'm just trying to get everybody to come together in unity and come together. Anyways, with that being said, I guess we're about done, folks. For now.
Good night, Peter. Beautiful, beautiful call.
Yep. Very nice.
Helping in the background. Appreciate you.
Yep. Everybody come on over to the house. It's time we got to get together. We need to bring our community, this is about the love, folks. I know I banter. It's not anger. It's, I'm concerned. Anyways, we love you. And thanks, my producer, Andrea, for giving me an aneurysm at 7 o'clock. It really felt good. She had me sweating the load. She goes, she was in a serious baby nap or something. But she is with child very shortly. I got to create an open door so that she can exit stage left a little bit because the baby's coming shortly. So I'm going to create a solution. Matter of fact, if there's anybody who knows how to run a board for Blog Talk, come over to my house and send me an email. Just send it to Privatis@Privatis.me. It'll get to me. Brother Michael will make sure I get it. Put in the subject line. Yeah, sure, I'd like to be helping my brothers and sisters with a little bit of heavy lifting because I can't do it all. Anyways, hey, we love you, folks. Have a great night. Thank you, Lyndon. Thank everybody else. We love you, and we'll see you on Tuesday. We'll be here with bells on, 7 to 9. Have a great night. Thank you, John.
Much love. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Privatis.me. No longer do we need to hire lawyers, worry about past debt, or count on doctors to fix our health problems. Privatis.me. Specializing in real education about the legal system, administratively eliminating your past debt, and teaching you simple, natural ways to restore your health, including cancer. Join today for free. Learn how to live in private and allow yourself to overcome and stop living in fear. Become a paid member for $10 per month and receive Peter and Michael's $300 debt elimination package for free. Privatis.me. Privatis.Me. Take a walk on the private side. VerdictProductions.com. Do you have footage you want turned into a video? Weddings, family gatherings, sports games? High-quality video production for any project you have. We also create detailed slideshows if you have information you want to put on YouTube or your website for all to see. Many other services including audio enhancement, music production, and CD mastering for your band. Need a company logo or an ad? No problem. We also specialize in graphic design to make your business or website stand out. Head over to verdictproductions.com for a quote. Lowest prices on the net guaranteed.